It's Jose, your owner-operator at Big T's Pizza, and here's another video of the Big T's Archive. Now, today I'm going to talk about something I want to call being proactive versus being reactive. Now, there's this video I had seen on Instagram or TikTok where there's an officer. He has his hand up high and he tells his lady to put her hand halfway. And there's some keys at the bottom of like the mailbox thing, I think, whatever it was, the table. And he tells the lady, if you get the keys first, I'll let you drive my car around the block. But you have to move your hand once you see me move my hand. So the girl says, okay. The officer obviously drops his hand and then she reacts to it. He explains to her that the reason why he's always going to beat her is because he is doing it first, meaning she has to react to it. He explains that in his line of job, if you're being reactive, it means that you're not as quick as the person who's doing it, if that made any sense. Now, how does this apply to Big T's or being an owner-operator? So as an owner-operator, let's say I know that we're going to be busy as heck. I know that tomorrow is going to be the Super Bowl. And I know that for sure we always sell 100 body summers. Meaning, I need to have enough sauces, enough cheese, enough everything for that day. Now, being reactive would mean that I only open about 5 boxes of sauce, 6 boxes of cheese, and then while I'm working, we run out of sauce and cheese and we have to open more, if that makes sense. Now, being proactive means that I know I'm gonna have a bunch of orders, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open 10 boxes of sauce, 12 boxes of cheese, double the amount. Because being ready and being proactive will always beat being reactive, no matter what. Now, I understand that sometimes it's hard, especially because in a business, and especially when you're starting off, money might be tight. But I don't think that that should always be the concern. Now, if we're talking about stuff that might go to waste, for example, again, this might apply to businesses that are restaurants where food goes to waste, but this also applies to any business, you know? Always prepare for busy days. Let's say you sell stuff, you sell product. Prepare for Black Friday. You know that a lot of customers buy stuff on Black Friday, so you're gonna have more. But back to my point. I know that money might be tight, so maybe buying a lot of lettuce might be a bad idea if you use lettuce, or avocados for guac. I don't know. But that doesn't mean that you can't prepare with stuff that you know that won't go to waste. For example, let me get deeper into this. We have pepperoni, we have sausage, we have beef. Now, we also have cheese and we have lettuce. I'm going to give you just those 5 things. So, obviously lettuce in the fridge, depending on when it was harvested, it might last you a week or 2, maybe, you know. The cheese, technically, it has to be aged for at least 3 weeks. And you have about 2 months before the cheese goes bad. Well, not goes bad, but it won't be at the quality because cheese is good when it's aged. Obviously, not too much, right? So, keep that in mind. Pepperoni can last up to 2 to 3 months with a shelf life in a refrigerator. Sausage can last about a month. And the beef, if frozen, can last you 6 months. But I'm just giving you an example. So I know that sauces are canned as well, right? Sorry for adding something else, but it's something that's not refrigerated. So this will last you 6 months. Obviously, I know that Super Bowl's coming up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy, if normally on a regular week, I buy 3 cases of pepperoni, 6 cases of cheese, and I buy 1 case of beef, you know, and 2 cases of sausage, 1 case of lettuce. So for this week, because I know that Super Bowl's coming, what I'm going to do is instead of ordering 2 pepperonis, I'm going to order 3. Instead of ordering 6 cheeses, I'm going to order 10, if that makes sense. Because I know that it won't go bad if it's sitting there in the fridge for an extra week. Because I'd rather be proactive than reactive. I'd rather say, oh, I have 2 extra boxes of pepperoni than, oh, I need to go to the store and buy pepperoni because we ran out. Oh, I have to tell the customers I have no pepperoni because we ran out, if that makes sense. Being proactive in a business is very beneficial because it will allow you to scale. I don't think you can scale if you don't have a proactive mentality. If you're always ready, if you're always prepared, then once life hits, once the business hits, once something bad happens or something good as an extra business happens, then you're prepared. So being proactive is a plus when scaling. You also need systems and delegations, but more on that later. Because if you're reactive, then maybe I have to go to the store and buy extra pepperoni. And that hour I go to the store is gonna waste me time, and that for that hour I could have helped the store make an extra 10 pizzas. Again, these are just examples. Okay, so from being proactive and reactive, always choose proactive and always teach your employees to be the same. Because if you teach everybody to be reactive, then you're always going to be second. But if you teach everybody to be proactive, you're always going to be first, you're always going to be ready, you're always going to be growing, you know? And again, if you have a bad day, maybe you thought Super Bowl Sunday was going to sell out those 100 body slammers that I talked about earlier, and you only sold 75. It's not the end of the world. You still sold 75. And now you're ready for next week. What you do next week is you order less of something. Or maybe you put a special. Again, this doesn't just apply to food businesses. Let's say you have a product or maybe even a digital product. Technically, you can't have too much of a digital product because it's unlimited. But let's say you order too much of that product, and you know what? I have 100 extra headphones, you know? I'm gonna put them on sale. I'm gonna put $10 off or something like that. So it doesn't just have to apply for food, although, you know, I'm an expert in the pizza business as an owner-operator at Big T's, but that doesn't mean that none of this could be applied for something else. But yeah, that's all I got for this video. Thank you for watching. Hope you like it.